Hello and welcome back to this channel where Jesus is King and God gets all the glory. I wanted to get on here because I was having a conversation with someone about change and how change can be so challenging and scary, and a lot of people just reject it and they'd rather stay in the situation that they're in because they're afraid. They don't know what's on the other side. What do you mean my life can change? What do you mean that I don't have to live like this? What do you mean that I'm empowered and that I can build a life that I want? If God wills it. And then this person said to me, if you don't have vision, and that's so biblical. If you don't have vision, if you don't have another perspective of how to see your life, or even yourself, how to reinvent yourself, reimagine yourself, and then immediately after that conversation, it was interrupted, and my daughter called me. And we do these things where we create these hypothetical situations that are super silly. And today it was teleportation. And imagine you just you're taking a shower and you step out of the shower and you're in the middle of Times Square. And we do all these silly things and we try to push it as far as we can. Like you walk into a bathroom, but when you step out of that same bathroom, you're in a McDonald's. So you go in and you're brushing your teeth and you step out in your pajamas and you're like, all right, can I get a number one? And we do these things because I had a vivid imagination when I was a kid. Shocker. And my child is someone that I can share that with, that she doesn't have any limiting beliefs yet. She thinks anything can happen at any time. If I told her tomorrow we're going to the moon, she's like, I don't know how she's going to do it, but she's going to do it. And at some point we lose that, or God forbid, as a child, that was never cultivated. And that broke my heart when I thought about that, when I thought maybe the person in question who's resistant to change, who maybe has no vision outside of what they're experiencing, maybe they didn't have that. Maybe they didn't have someone to be silly with, to work out that part of their mind that was creative, that was limitless, that allowed there to be space for the impossible. And so every night when I pray, I always pray for eyes to see and ears to hear and a softened heart every day, because I don't want to stay stagnant. I think once things stop evolving, they start dying. And I didn't know. I mean, I kind of knew what the Bible meant when people are spiritually dead. People are not awake. Some people really believe that this life is about working, having enough money for your kids, and having a good time while you have it. They're not living intentionally. This is something I want to figure out, because it's literally the most important thing that I'm ever going to do in my life, is figure out my life, figure out why I'm here, figure out what I have to learn. I mean, as a Christian, I understand that I have to learn how to be more like Christ. But in that pursuit, I want to understand. I want to be a conduit for healing, or at least sharing information so that people grow. But Lord, it's so, what's the word? It's not even painful, because it's not my own pain, but there are people that the truth of who they are, or the truth of their lives, is so painful to face and to see, that they'll lie to themselves. That never happened, and it's easier to gaslight. And I think for a very long time I was very interested in narcissists and how do people get there. I was raised by a narcissist, and I think there has been some progress, thank God. And maybe that's a part of me too, that's I don't have to fix people, and I don't feel like I have to fix them. But Lord, if we could come alongside one another and say, this is what I've learned. What have you learned? What experiences have molded you into being? I'm just fascinated by people, and I want to understand them. and challenge them too. And I think it's because I challenge myself, and I try to understand how I got to that thought process, and I'm always backtracking, like what decision or what situation happened that now I see life through this lens. And you can't really have these conversations with a lot of people, at least in my circles. Maybe I just, God is taking me to other circles and other spaces and places where I can have this conversation. That doesn't include like smoking marijuana or getting on mushrooms. But really thinking about, where did I pick that up? Is it serving me? No. And then sharing that, like, hey, I did that. It doesn't work. This is what I learned. And I think my faith bridges that gap a lot of the time, because I'm a person with vision, literally prophetic vision, as well as just, I guess it's all kind of prophetic, because if you can see it, you can achieve it, right? Like people in sports where they do these visualization exercises. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And they're like, visualize yourself doing the impossible thing, or making the basket, or flipping 6 times, or whatever it is. And sure enough, because they have vision, they're able to achieve it. Like impossible things. Imagine you don't have a vision for your life, or you don't even know where you're going, or the place that you're going to or heading towards is such a vague place, right? You're not being super intentional. You're like, well, if I have this and this and the, basic needs, a place to live and a healthy child, which is super important, then good. But even that could only sustain you so far, because eventually your child is gonna move away, and thank God you're gonna have a place to live. But outside of that, like, what is there? What is there? When I encounter people that live like they're dead, I pray for them. What can I do? I'm like, dang. You were, what's that Switchfoot song? We were meant to live for so much more. Have we lost ourselves? Somewhere we live inside, right? Somewhere we live inside. Something like that. But when I think about that, I'm like, ooh, there is more than this world's got to offer. There's so much more. But people think you're too much. It's not that serious. Life is not that serious. Actually. Vision is so important. We can pray for vision. God does not withhold a good thing. So, if you don't have a vision for your life, if you're stuck, this is what I'm sharing. This is what I've learned. If you are stuck in this world, ask for vision. Ask God for direction. What is it that I should be doing? Like, what is the whole point of all of this thing? Like, why am I here? And why did these things have to happen to me and turn me or help mold me into this person? Because you're connected to the source, the potter, right? You're the clay. You got the potter there. So if you're going to ask anybody about your life, I'm pretty sure it should be the person who created you. So God, give me vision. Give me capacity to, is something I ask for a lot. Understanding. I want to be able to retain the information that I have. I don't want to grow stagnant and comfortable in the limiting knowledge that I have now. Keep me growing and going. And you know who I love? Theo Von. Theo Von is a person I feel like I could have a wonderful conversation with. This man's depth is just, it almost makes him so attractive, to tell you the truth. His emotional intelligence and just intelligence in general, and how he plays off not knowing or being, he's just so humble. It's very strange. I've been binge watching Theo Von. Theo, if you're watching, I'm a big fan. And you're a beautiful person. And he's like, I don't want to masturbate anymore, and I don't want to smoke cigarettes, and I just feel like such a piece of like, but you can tell that he's struggling, but he's trying, and he's so vulnerable. I'm like, this is a man that I would love to meet. God, I digress. Went off on a tangent. Ask for vision, direction, capacity, understanding, wisdom, knowledge. There's a difference. Joy. And see what happens. Like, dare to step out. If you feel stuck, if you're like, I'm in this wheel, I'm just doing this over and over, you have the Creator. He can unstick you if you want it, and it's going to be uncomfortable. So get yourself around people who have delusional faith that you can people who believe in you. You got to be around people who believe in you. You can't be around cynical people or sarcastic people who are like, well, now you think you're all that because you're not trying to live this shitty life. Yeah, yes. There's a reason why I am the way that I am, and I was born at this time in this space, and you know me. Let's live intentionally. I hope this blesses someone. Jesus loves you. I love you.